Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're tuning into AMTV Alternative Media Television. I want to talk today about what no one else is talking about, what the Obama regime and their narrative is crafting around these mass shootings. You know, telling the American people that all different kinds of things are to blame without and totally failing to point out the obvious. You know, every single one of these shootings, whether or not it was the recent shooting last week at the Centennial, Colorado at a high school, that unfortunately, but fortunately only put one person in critical condition, although there was other targets, and a school official, and my heart goes out to her and I pray for her well wishes and I hope everything's okay. But all of these shootings happen in gun-free zones, every single one of them. Whether or not this was Adam Lanza or James Holmes or Jared Loughner here in Tucson, they all target gun-free zones, every single one of them. Also the Navy Yard shooter in Washington, D.C. Those are just a few examples out of the dozens and countless examples of these atrocities that keep occurring. LAX International Airport is another one, another gun-free zone. Every single one of these places is a gun-free zone. Whether or not it's Sandy Hook Elementary School, or it's the high school last week, or it's the LAX International Airport, or it's a grocery store in Tucson, the Jared Loughner, Gabriel Giffords attempted murder and the killing of countless others. All of these places happen in gun-free zones, but nobody's talking about it. You know, everybody's talking about the mental health, which I think is a very big issue. They're talking about violent video games. They're talking about political ideologies. Was the person a socialist? Was he a Democrat? Was he a Republican? Was he a member of the NRA? Everybody trying to pitch and craft their own narrative to fit whatever it is they believe. You know what? Who really gives a shit? You know, we should be concerned about the fact that number one, our people are dying, but number two, the obvious isn't being pointed out. Not by the Obama regime, not by the mainstream media, and not by anybody else. All of these shootings happen in gun-free zones. They happen in public places where people aren't armed, and the psychopaths, and I don't know if we need a war on psychopaths, I guess we do, these crazy video game playing, utterly miserable, internally occultist people that go on these killing sprees, go to these gun-free zones, go to these gun-free places. In fact, the more gun-free it is, it's probably the more dangerous it is. They go to the movie theaters, they go to the grocery stores, they go to schools, they go to churches or mosques because they know there's going to be a lot of people there that are unarmed and the casualty count or the kill count is going to be high. You know, just like the Doom game that they're playing or the Call of Duty or anything else. But you know what? We can't lay all the blame there. We can't put all the blame on Hollywood. We can't put all the blame on violent video games. We have to put the blame on the psychopaths, the people that are doing it. And we also have to put the blame on the federal government that is failing to alert the American people and people around the world that this all occurs in gun-free zones. You know, where guns don't exist are actually the scariest, most dangerous places to be in America right now. You know, you don't see this happening at firing ranges. You don't see this happening at places of business where people know people are armed. You don't see this happening in areas where the psychopaths that are intending to kill all these people know that they'll be shot before they can get a single bullet out, before they can get a single round out. Why isn't anybody addressing this? Why is everybody failing to state the obvious here? Gun-free zones are killing people in America. You see, the truth is the Obama administration and the federal government has an agenda to destroy the Second Amendment in this country. They have an agenda in this country to confiscate your guns. They want all of them, your handguns, your shotguns, your AK-47. They want every single last one of them, and it's why they're failing to state the obvious. They're failing to point out the obvious. They're failing to address really the safety issue because all they care about is getting your gun, blaming it on some kind of conservative fringe lunatic or somebody that was affiliated with the Tea Party or somebody that is a Republican or somebody that they say is right wing. When actually, when you look at it, most of these people, most of them are actually leftists. Most of them, like the killer that just went on, or the attempted killer that just went on the killing spree last week, a self-identified socialist. People describing many of these characters to be on the left end of the spectrum. But you know what? That's not the point. The point is gun-free zones are killing innocent people. Let's look at that first before we get into all the mumbo-jumbo and the political ideology and the narrative that's being crafted clearly by the Obama administration to destroy what our founding fathers died for, what many and millions of Americans have died for throughout history to preserve. our freedom and our very liberty, and our ability to protect ourselves from tyranny. I'm Christopher Green. Click the link below. Support our sponsor right now. Hard-hitting and in your face. I'm out. Peace.